It's about Open Telekom Cloud. And we would like to introduce you and me. So let's go to the first slide. And here you can see our great pictures. My name is Torsten. I'm located in Magdeburg in Germany. And I am product owner and product manager for big data and artificial intelligence on our Telekom Cloud. So let's say I'm end-to-end responsible for all these services which we have. I'm working for T-Systems for more than 20 years, more or less 20 years in several positions. And I'm responsible for this big data and artificial intelligence part since 2020. So together with me is Ferenc.
Hello everyone, my name is Ferenc Kukucska. I've been working in the Big Data and AI squad for 1.5 years now as an AI architect, and I've been AI since 2017. I worked on projects like intelligent search engines using university studies, smart commerce systems using Raspberry Pis, GANs, which I will talk about in more details in my presentation.
Thanks, so let's start. So everyone would like to listen to the artificial intelligence story here, right? So, but let's start with the basics, with computing power, because we are talking about artificial intelligence, yes? Everything starts with the computing power. That's why we would like to talk about the Open Telekom Cloud, which is the biggest European OpenStack Cloud. And hopefully you know already OpenStack. So OpenStack is one of the 3 most active open source projects in the world. Yeah? And our cloud is based on this OpenStack. So we have 2 regions. One is in Germany, Magdeburg, and the second one is here in Amsterdam. So and it's already quite big. Yeah? So you can see it as this number. So we have more than 4,000 terabyte RAM. You know, on your local PC you have 16 gigabyte, yeah, but we have more than 4,000 terabyte RAM already installed. That means it's a huge platform. And we have more than 100 million end users which are using all these applications and the solutions on our Open Telekom Cloud. So as you can see, it's quite big and it's a public cloud, so public available. Everyone can access this outside via GUI, very simple. And in addition, we have a private stack, so an on-premise solution, so that means you can place this Open Telekom Cloud, your own mini Open Telekom Cloud in your own data center, and you can decide if you would like to connect this with a public cloud or not. So that means this is just a short summary about the Open Telekom Cloud, and I will introduce these services once again, and then we will go to this artificial intelligence part. Yeah? So on the next slide, you can see all this AI portfolio, let's say. Yeah? Everything starts with data. Yeah? You need data, and therefore you need to get this data into the platform. We have some kind of data processing services as PaaS services. For example, this data ingestion service, which is based on Kafka, HBase, and Redis. We have a data warehouse service and as well a MapReduce service. So there you can set up a Hadoop cluster, very simple. We have a cloud search service with a managed Elasticsearch and Kibana versions. We have some standard Elastic Cloud server, so EAS layer. Yeah, if you would like to set up a VM, it's possible, of course. Yeah, with some GPUs behind, you can see it. We have NVIDIA V100, yeah, for training workload, and even NVIDIA T4 for inference workload available. So we would like to release this A100, the newest, let's say, high-end GPU from NVIDIA next year. And even if you are interested to use some container solutions, we have a cloud container engine with a managed Kubernetes on our platform as well. So in addition, we are offering some Asset chips. These are NPUs. Yeah? So that means you can use it as well. And on top, we have Model Arts. Model Arts is an artificial intelligence framework. And this is one of the most important part which we are talking today. That's why Ferenc can introduce this a little bit more to you.
Yes, so Model Arts is a one-stop development framework for AI developers. Let me tell you about a few important features of Model Arts. So here you can see this whole AI development lifecycle. in model arts. So one step means that this out-of-the-box whole lifecycle solution provides data processing, model training, model management, and deployment as well. It also has visualized workflows, so you can use this GES or Graph Engine service that helps you to visualize and manage your whole life cycle. So no matter how you start, if you have your data preprocessed, you can start a training, but if you don't have your data preprocessed, you have raw data. So first thing is get your data. After that you have to preprocess to be in a form that your machine or deep learning can be fed with. So then comes the training. As for the training, model art is very easy because you can use this automatic model parameter tuning, which helps you get your training done very fast, and you can also use various built-in frameworks. Once you have your training done, you can evaluate it on a couple of metrics like F1 score, confusion matrix that tell us how your model performed. If you are satisfied with the results, you can deploy it as a online batch edge services with just one click, but if you want a higher accuracy, you can retrain your model.
Okay, but today we would like to talk about the different user groups of developers. Yeah? So our title is about zero coding AI. Yeah? So, and this different user groups for zero coding AI is the case 3. I just would like want to use a model without any coding experience. And so you can see on my screen, we have some additional user groups. Yeah? We have some case 2, it's I just want to build a model quickly. Yeah? So therefore we have some different features available, like a built-in algorithm. And if you are the case 1, I love coding developer, so that means really the expert, yeah? For sure you can use some kind of Jupyter notebooks and especially some more features and services which we have available. And we will talk with you about all this, the 3 groups today. Yeah? We will introduce these features which we have. And of course, we have some videos, some live example how to develop, for example, with case 3. I just would want to use a model with zero coding AI.
Yes, so you can choose from a wide range of different frameworks in model arts. As you can see, there is this AI engine, TensorFlow, under the frequently used tab. We have different versions of TensorFlow, different versions of PyTorch as well, but we have MXNet, PySpark, and we also have Caffe and XGBoost, which is a highly efficient and portable and flexible ML framework. You can choose any to your liking. You have to make sure that you use your whole training with these AI engines due to the your training set, so to the quantity, quality, the size of the type of your training set. So there is even a saying in the field of machine learning, you already have heard about that there is no free lunch. So, there is not a universal solution, each is good in something. TensorFlow is the fastest on ResNet V50. For example, PyTorch is the fastest on faster RCNN, MXNet is the fastest on VGT16, so each is good in something, but you have to make sure that you use your appropriate AI engine as well. So as you can see, you can set the code directory as well, the boot file as well, so it's very customizable, but this also comes with more complexity as well. Custom image with model art is also an option to train your model. This is the most customizable one. By this one you have the most freedom from a coding perspective. So you can set the code directory, the boot commands as well, and many other settings are available for you. You can have the preprocessing methods, the processing functions as well, and you can put this code into the code directory. And you have a base image, and based on that base image you can build your AI framework, and you can use that container for both the training and the inference as well. So after you create your custom container, you will install the necessary libraries, Python libraries, different frameworks libraries, different programming languages, and you will import, the customer can import that to the container that will train and serve the model. And we have also Jupyter notebooks. I'm sure that you might have heard about this one and used it as well. So, you know, it's similar to the Jupyter notebooks that you use on your local PC. The only difference is that ModelArt provides a powerful solution. So it uses many cloud GPUs, and you can bind together the notebooks with the OBS, which is the object storage, where you can store large data sets, and with the Moxing framework, with just a couple of lines of code, you can bind these two together as well. And you can have many types of kernels as well. So we have TensorFlow kernel, a PyTorch kernel, so you can choose any to your liking.
Okay, this was the case 1, I love coding. Yeah? But let's go to the case 2. I just want to build a model quickly. Yeah? So for this one, we have built-in algorithm available, which are already pre-trained on open source data sets. And Ferenc, maybe you can introduce this a little bit more to us.
Yes, so you can see different kinds of ResNets here. So from the quite simple ones like ResNet V150, which is for image classification, to the quite complex ones such as faster RCNN or Retinant ResNet, which are for object detection. You know, we also got YOLO, which is you only live once. That is a cool tool where you can detect objects on live stream videos that can rectangle objects like vehicles, cars, humans, pavements, buildings, and many more stuff. But we can also have this DarkNet tool. DarkNet is a convolutional neural network, and it's a pre-trained one that was pre-trained to classify images into 1000 categories, such as objects like keyboards, pencils, to the animals like mice and dogs.
Okay, many thanks. Let's go to this case 3, yeah? Zero coding AI. So here we have XML. XML stands for our auto-learning function on ModelArts. So you can use this auto-learning function very simple. Yeah? You don't need any coding experience, you don't need any artificial intelligence experience, you just need a PC, internet browser, and some data. And then you can choose it very simple for kind of image classification, object detection, or predictive analytics, which is already available. And you can train your own algorithm with 3 steps. So first of all, as I mentioned, you need to have your data. You can upload this to the object storage. So that means single point of contact or single point of source here is the storage. As soon as you have labeled this data, and this is very simple via GUI, just choose it. And we have some kind of label function, team label function available. As soon as you have done this, you can train the model. And therefore, you just need to push the button train, because there is already the automaton behind, which helps you to don't choose any numbers and don't do any modification, something like this one. So it's already available and behind. Yeah? You just need to push the button train. And as soon as this model is trained, you can deploy it very simple on the Open Telekom Cloud. You just need to push another button, which says deploy the inference workload. And that means you will get this API in, let's say, 1-2 minutes available on the systems. You don't need to take care of setting up a VM or something like this one. So you can train and deploy your inference workload in 30 minutes. Yeah? It's really simple and ready to use and without any coding experience. So this is case 3. I just want to use a model. Let me summarize all the 3 cases, and then we can go to a demo. So Ferenc has a great video with us. So case 1, I love coding. We have spoken about this one, and the Jupyter notebooks, and even the customer image, the custom image, where you can use your own Docker image with your framework, and use it inside of ModelArts. We have spoken about case 2. I just want to build a model quickly about built-in algorithm, which are available. And of course about the case 3, the XML, the auto-learning function, which is very, very simple. So for all the 3 user groups, or developer groups, which we have, we have a lot of features on our framework, as you can see. And therefore, if you would like to use model arts for your AI development, it's possible for everyone. So, Ferenc, maybe we can go to this great introduction of this auto-learning function.
Yes, so here you can see the main page of XML. So as Torsten mentioned, we can create image classification, object detection, and predictive analytics projects. But now we are going to create an image classification project. So we are specifying the name of the whole XML job. And after that, we are specifying also the dataset path. So I specified the dataset path that I created before, and now you can see this whole XML job page where there is 100 flowers with 5 distinct groups, so daisies, sunflowers, tulips, and so on. You can see there in the right side of the screen. So we are going to train the model. We are specifying the training validation ratio. It's 80-20%, and we are using GPUs for that. So we are hitting the OK button to start the training. It's initializing, it's training, and the model is published as well. You can see that it's completed with an 82% of accuracy. We can already see it on the model management and models. The first one is our model. For a dataset this size, it usually takes 5 or 10 minutes to train. You can see the evaluation metrics at the right side of the browser, and we are going to deploy it as a real-time service because it's okay that we have a trained model, but we have to use it. So how we can use it? We are specifying that an API address, and with that API address we can access our model. So that service name will be okay, and we are hitting the create button. So our service is now being created. As you can see, it's deploying, but while it's deploying, let's look for some sunflower images. We should have an image that our model has never seen before. So that will be a good one from Google. So I'm downloading an image, and if everything goes well, then we are going to the service deployment tab and seeing our service status. So now it's running, so we can open it. There you can see its API address. So we can access it via this address, but we now going to predict its sunflower type with the predict button. Uploaded it, I downloaded from Google a couple of seconds ago, and I'm going to predict it. At the prediction tab you can see that it's going to scan the image, the sunflower image, and yes, the predicted label is sunflower with its 70%, so it's quite good because we have only 100 flowers, and in each flower type we have 20 images. So that was our XML example.
Many thanks, Ferenc. So we would like to talk about some solution cases, and here I have one example with me. It's about the data preparation. So everyone knows, most of the time of the development is the data preparation. No one wants to hear this, but most of the time. So normally we will say 80% of the time is data preparation. And that's why you need to have some features which helps you to do this preparation very simple, very fast. And we have model arts together with some features available. And here we have some example for the autonomous driving, where these guys used model arts as a framework to do the data preparation. So they used this cloud object storage, which is our object storage from Telekom Cloud as a single point of source for this whole data. And they have done data filtering with this one. Sounds very simple, in some cases it is, but it's good to have a data filtering function available to sort all these files. And even if you're doing the labeling function, it can take a lot of time. If you have maybe 1,000 or 100,000 pictures. So therefore you can use some automated labeling function which is pre-trained models, and even with this data annotation you have the possibility here to use third-party annotations to help you all these labeling functions. And last but not least, we have some kind of version management available inside, so that's already included. And so if you are doing, if you are some modifications of all these labelings, so Model Arts helps you with this version lifecycle management. So, and that's very simple, then you can choose all the things for the model training. And as I mentioned, most of the time will be used for this data preparation. So that means you have to take care that the data is that you have the data with the right quality.
Now we are going to provide some examples what we created with the model arts. So I first heard about GANs 2 years ago. However, these machine learning framework classes go back to 2014 when Ian Goodfellow and his colleagues invented this approach of generative modeling using deep learning methods. So this generative adversarial network is a algorithmic architecture that uses two neural networks, a discriminator and a generator. And the basic idea behind them is that the generator and the discriminator contest with each other in a game, and they learn in tandem. Nowadays, GANs are widely used in the entertainment industry, to color up black and white videos, to scale up old video games, and to put new faces in the movies. And now I'm going to show you how it works in model arts. So this will be a presentation video where you can see this child painting at the left side of our browser. So as you can see, it's in Microsoft Paint, like a 6-year-old could have done a way better one. It's just containing 6 or 7 colors, but the main thing is that you can see it's getting a photorealistic image at the right side of our browser. So from that child painting, we got this Berlin cityscape. So this belongs to the Berlin dataset. We have several ones, and you can see that blue blob represents the grass at the right side of our picture. So we are expanding, broadening a little bit because we have much concrete and not so much grass, and this grass expanded. We are going to do the same in the right side to be symmetrical. So as you can see, in a couple of seconds, we got the we will have the grass in the right side of our pavement as well, but now we are creating a little bit different because we are expanding the sky as well, which represents this red color. As you can see, we are expanding it, so hopefully the skyscrapers will have a feeling of it. Hopefully no one was working up there anymore. So as you can see, we removed the top 3 or 4 floors of the skyscraper. So that's it for Berlin. We have other pictures of Berlin as well. This is also a street photo of Berlin, and at the left side you can see that we have many other. We have currently 4 data sets. This is Berlin's. We have Wadi Rum, which is in southern Jordan. You can see the segmentation image, this child painting there in the left side. So from that we created this photorealistic image. So in Berlin we created something, removed something. Hopefully no one will be angry at us if we are creating something in here as well. So we are creating a rock, and that appeared on the photorealistic image, but if we created something, let's delete something as well. So that has been deleted. That's it for Wadi Rum, not so exciting, just a couple of rocks in the desert. We also got Ireland. So I think that we should go back to Europe. We have a twin mountain in there, and we have a twin, so let's make them a triplet by painting a third mountain in between them with this brownish color, as you can see. And in a few seconds, okay, we got the triplet. So as you can see, a mountain has been created in between them. But if we created something again, like Wadi Rum, we also should remove something. So let's delete this first big hill. A little bit of smoothing, and yeah, it vanished. So basically we created this with GANs. Let me show you my favorite data set. It's different because the other were taken from videos made by other people, and this is a Hungarian town where I came from. This was taken by me and my colleagues. So we went out, took a little couple of images, photos and videos, and we got the river broadened as well. As you can see, the river Tisa broadened, and again a little bit as well. And we also have a demo about the full AI pipeline. So remember this XML demo that I was talking about a couple of minutes ago. So I created an XML based script where I only use OpenStack commands with the past definitions in it, and everything will happen the same way as I showed you, but now with using of OpenStack commands from the command line. So everything will be automatic. That is the main thing of the next video. So as you can see here, I have this script that I will start, so it's running, and in a couple of seconds we already got the whole dataset created, the train job created, the model is being created. Now let's check it on the GUI as well. So now we're refreshing the dataset page. There is this dataset that we created from the GUI. Automatically we have all the 100 labeled flowers that we saw before, so we have everything. Let's go back to the console. To see that, okay, our script has finished running, we got the service deployed as well, so we have the model as well, it's now deploying, it's running, so we did everything the same way. We can predict as well, as you can see, we got the sunflower and we got another flower as well, a daisy. Hopefully, yes, that's been predicted precisely, as you can see, with more accuracy than before. Let's upload the daisy as well and get it predicted. Cool. So that is with OpenStack.
Great, many thanks, Ferenc. So I guess there was something for I love coding groups and something for zero coding groups. You can see via GUI you can do a lot of things, but with coding experience you can do most of these things. Let's say this one. Okay, so we would like to talk about zero coding AI. Let's say this is done for today. Yeah. In addition, we need to talk about security and data privacy, because this is very important as well. You know, data is like gold. Yeah, you have to be secure your data, because the data is the source of all these artificial intelligence stuff. Therefore, you have to secure not only the data, you have to secure this personal data of the customer, and this is based on GDPR compliant. You know, and the general data protections, yeah? General data protection regulation, GDPR for the European people. So therefore, it's very simple to secure it. You can just do an end-to-end encryption on any cloud. Then you have, maybe you have already this GDPR compliance. But if you're not able to do an end-to-end encryption, and in most of the cases you're not able to do so, yeah, you have to take care to use a European provider, and with the data, where the data is located in Europe. That's the first one, physically located. And the second one, it should be operated by a European company. So why? It's very simple. So you know this judgment Schrems 2 from the European Court of Justice in 2020. They said the privacy shield between Europe and US is invalid, full stop. So that means it's not allowed to hand over any personal customer data to the US government. And in addition, we know the Cloud Act, for example. Yeah? The Cloud Act means the US government can get access to data from US companies. So even if the US company is storing data in Germany, in Europe, yeah, the US government can get access. And that's why you need to ensure an end-to-end encryption, yeah, to be GDPR compliant, or you are using a European cloud with a European provider. Yeah, so even this is possible, and therefore please take in consideration. If you are doing some AI development, you have to take care of the data as well. So that's about this one, and last but not least, we would like to talk about the trustworthy AI. We have an AIC4 criteria catalog in Germany. It's from the Federal Office for Information Security. Yeah, I need to write this. I know the German words, but not the English one. It's a cloud compliance criteria catalog with minimum requirements for secure use of machine learning methods on cloud computing. And there you have 8 areas where this whole algorithm is, let's say, checked on this cloud. So it starts with the first one. It's maybe based on this cloud compliance criteria catalog C5. Yeah, C5 is the standard criteria catalog which is necessary with some basic checks for cloud computing. But even if you go, for example, to reliability, you have to assure in continuous operation. Yeah? And as well some basics like set up the logging, set up some backups. No one wants to talk about backups, but backups are important. That's why it's always good to really to check if this is in place. Even if you go to data quality, yeah. So if you are doing the training of the algorithm, you need data, as I mentioned, yeah. And so therefore, this data quality means this is a trustworthy source for your data. And the point 7, for example, is explainability. That means you have to set up measures for this users and customer, yeah, to explain the decision of the AI, for example. Yeah. And yeah, so that's the basic criteria catalog, which is already available, is published in the beginning of this year. And I'm happy to say that we already have some one solution on our Telekom cloud, which has this AI, or which is according to this AI-C4 catalog. So, and we can go to this next slide. There is some chatbot solution from Cognigy, which is running on the Open Telekom cloud. Yeah. So, and we have this hosted. Yeah. And we have this kind of C5 criteria catalog as well on our systems. So that's about the trustworthy AI. So you can have a look in the internet to get some more information about it. But for sure, you can talk to us. You can ask your questions. Yeah, feel free to ask your questions to Ferenc and me. And many thanks for the session today. Thank you. So, are there some questions? Yes, please.
Do we also have for the general adversarial network a solution which can turn daylight images into thermal images?
Yes, it's a question to Ferenc.
Yeah. So last summer we were experiencing a lot of stuff with these GANs, and now we have also a type of GAN where we are using this climate catastrophe thing, where we can show that what happens if we did nothing to the whole Earth. So basically that can be done as well, as you said. But sorry. So that can be done as well. But you know, we did this first thing, so this daylight, and as well I saw that others were doing that, but we wanted to do something new. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just let's say a demo case what we have. So therefore we have this kind of examples, but it's good to have this additional ones as well. Yeah. So we have this demo case for some summits like here, yeah, to show something what is possible on the cloud, and therefore it's a nice showcase. Let's say this one. Yeah. Was there any additional question? Yes, please.
Yep. What's your convincing argument to go to for your platform compared to other, let's say, cloud platforms?
Very good questions. Yeah, I like this kind of question. So, what are our unique selling points? Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we are an OpenStack Cloud. OpenStack means open source. Yeah. So we are the Open Telekom Cloud. Yeah, and so that means you can trust it because there's open source behind. That's the first one. Second one is we are GDPR compliant. Yeah, because we are a European company, and the data is located and physically located in Germany and in Europe, in Amsterdam, and it's operated by us, so only by European people. So therefore, GDPR compliance is already available. So in addition, you can trust Magenta. Yeah. And what else do we have? We have a hybrid solution. Hybrid means, yeah, we have a private or we have an on-premise Open Telekom Cloud solution, which you can put in your data center and say, okay, I have my own private cloud, yeah, and you have you can set up with all these features, yeah. It doesn't matter if it's these PaaS services, GPUs, even model arts. Let's say everything is possible, and you can cut the connection to the public cloud. That means it's really a private cloud which is in your data center, And this is really for high secure operations, let's say this one. Yes?
At the end, you mentioned that you run a model which is according or built and operated according to WSAI2021 MASTERCLASS. So, how was this checked upon? Is there a logic or authority?
So,
Yes.
you mean the AI-C4? Yeah, so maybe we can go back to the slide once. So the trust, so one behind. So, not this one? Yes. So, you know, this AI-C4 is a criteria catalog, and this need to be checked by, you know, like the typical agencies. And here you have different areas. Yeah? You can see it based on these areas. You have to check the algorithm, the data behind, but even the cloud platform. Yeah? Because this criteria catalog is for secure cloud operations and as well for this machine learning methods. So that's really, it's an end-to-end check of this whole application, AI application. Yeah? And therefore you need minimum the C5 criteria catalog, and in addition, yeah, you have to check all this data, which is the data sources and the data operations, the daily operations. So that's really great to have this end-to-end check, and not only the cloud, which is behind, not only backups. So really, you can check everything, yeah, based on this cloud criteria catalog.
And the question was, okay, there's this criteria catalog, but now did the BSI or the Federal Office of Information Security, did they check or audit it? That you are sure that it's now?
No, it's done by audit companies. By audit companies, yeah. So you know it will cost a lot of money, like always, yeah, because there need to be a lot of checks behind, yeah, which need to be done. But yes, it's done by the audit companies. Yeah. Then you can say it's the cloud criteria catalog. You can't say it's according to this, but you don't get any certificate or something like this one. It's only according to the cloud criteria catalog, and you know, like it works, yeah. You're changing the system all the time, yeah. So that means you have to do this this review and this, let's say, to review about according to this catalog. Let's say every year, yeah, or every 2 years. It really depends, yeah. But it's on a regular basis. Yes.
Is there any plans to upstream this into the OpenStack community as a project, or is it a closed source project?
This model arts is not an OpenStack project. So let's say our EAS layer is OpenStack project, and therefore we are working together with this OpenStack guys. But yeah, this model arts are using open source frameworks, yeah. But let's say this is not based on OpenStack.
Yes, and as you could see from this short demo, model arts can be used in this DevOps way as well. So with these OpenStack commands, with this full whole AI pipeline, CI/CD pipeline as well.
Any further questions? Oh, yes.
Why didn't you go for instance, 9 for the zero coding at the end?
Sorry, it was.
Why didn't you go for? Why didn't you go, for instance, for 9 as a tool that you can use for the zero coding, but develop your own environment?
It's a very good question. So, you know, we have a lot of tools, and this is not the only one which we have on the Open Telekom Cloud. Yeah? Let's say this is included with all our services because it should be very simple for everyone. That's why we have this tool which is connected to our object service, to our internal services, and which can be used very simple. But even we have other solutions like Kubeflow, for example, yeah, which is managed, available on Open Telekom Cloud, and this managed means T-Systems is responsible to do this, and we will offer this, yeah, on Open Telekom Cloud and GDPR compliant.
Do you maybe have a built-in mechanism to actually monitor all the different models that are being deployed on this open source stack of yours? Because I can imagine that at a certain point you will have many models and you want to like govern it a little bit.
Yes, so we have a version lifecycle version management inside of Model Arts. So that means you can deploy 100 influence workloads, 100 models, yeah, and you have this overview inside. So which version is available, which is running, which resources are used. Yeah, even you can use dedicated resources. So everything can be done with Model Arts. Yeah. Many thanks for these questions, by the way. Yeah. So if you have some further questions, we are happy to answer this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Many thanks. Enjoy the day. Yeah. If you would like to have some back here or some more information about Open Telekom Cloud, we are here. We can answer these questions, but even we can talk about additional things. I don't want to forget one important thing. Thanks for remind me. So we are offering this as a beta phase currently, so that means you can choose this directly on the Open Telekom Cloud free of charge at the moment, so that means you can use your own training. You can start this from today on, and you don't need to pay for this one right now. But of course it's with limited resources, just one training jobs, one influence job per customer, yeah. So, but really use it, try it out, and yeah, get in contact with us. Yeah. By the way, our booth is the booth 3 on the left side if you go into this in this whole area. So many thanks. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the summit.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
And thanks for thank you.